You will feel empty, right when you think you finally deserve to breathe out. This feeling is strange, almost hollow. But understanding this quiet sadness might change how you live for the next big thing. When you set your sights on something, a degree, a promotion, a relationship, you build up an entire version of yourself around it. You become defined by the climb itself. And when you finally reach the peak, that self often evaporates. It is not the achievement that disappoints you. It is the sudden loss of purpose that follows success. This strange sadness has a name, the post-achievement void. It is the feeling that comes after all the striving stops. You look at what you built and feel nothing but silence. This happens to everyone who ever truly commits. But why does reaching your biggest goal feel like falling? What are we actually mourning when the reward finally arrives? The struggle was never just about the finish line. It was about becoming capable of running the race. Your identity became tied to the action, not the result. You were defined by the effort you put in every single day. The discipline, the late nights, the sacrifice, those things formed your self-worth. Think about finishing a marathon. Before the finish line, everything is pure forward momentum. The pain is constant, but it is meaningful pain. It proves something about your body and your will. When you cross that tape, the immediate physical rush fades. You are suddenly standing in silence. Your self-worth was housed in the struggle against gravity. Now there is no resistance, just flat ground. The feeling of achievement feels less like a reward and more like an ending. The thing you were working toward held all the tension of your life together. Once that tension releases, your internal structure loses its support. It's not the goal that was the point. It was the story of chasing the goal. But that story needs new characters to continue. You realize that if the job title or the relationship changes, who are you supposed to be? This deep questioning suggests the problem isn't external at all. There is one thing this whole process missed: internal scaffolding. The true architecture of self-worth must come from inside. It cannot depend on a visible accomplishment. You need something that remains steady when the applause stops and the cameras leave. Otherwise, every success just becomes a more elaborate exit ramp. We spend so much time focusing outward: the perfect portfolio, the highest salary, the flawless timeline. We mistake external validation for internal stability. This pattern keeps us running toward ever higher, farther goals. The next big thing always promises to fill the quiet, empty feeling we already carry inside. Imagine building a career solely around climbing a ladder of titles. You reach VP, then director, then executive. Each step feels like solid ground. But you realize the ladder itself is just wood and iron. It has no weight, no substance. When you look down from the top, you see only more ladders leading nowhere in particular. The problem with success is that it creates a false assumption that completeness is found after enough effort. We believe we will finally feel settled, safe, or worthy once a certain metric is met. This trap keeps us perpetually chasing something just out of reach. It makes the life after the goal seem unbearable. This constant striving becomes a shield against emptiness. The struggle provides focus, and focus feels like purpose. When you stop struggling, when you win, you are left exposed to the reality that success does not automatically grant happiness. You have to rebuild your sense of value from scratch. The sadness is really grief for the person who existed in the gap. That was the version of you fueled by potential, by struggle, and by almost. The moment you achieve something, you lose the glorious possibility of what could have been. And that loss is deep. There's a profound shift required here. It involves detaching your identity from any single outcome. You must learn to value the act of living well, not just the monumental achievements of it. Your life needs internal anchors. Roots that grow into yourself, not into an office building or bank account. The key is practice in small failure. Allow yourself to finish small things without needing a massive celebration. Celebrate the routine win. The morning walk. The conversation with a friend. These moments teach you that worth exists even when nothing big changes at all. They rewire your brain to find value in persistence, not just pinnacle moments. This shift fundamentally rewires how you view effort. Effort is no longer a transaction used to buy acceptance or worthiness. It becomes medicine for the soul. The goal is simply a vehicle for growth, not the destination itself. You are learning that the struggle was never about proving something to anyone else. It was always about proving something valuable to yourself. Understanding this changes everything. It reclaims your internal landscape from the demands of external ambition. You finally find rest in the process, not just at the end.